Hello, welcome to Quest for Thunder. I'm Mark. My wife Jean and I are refitting our 1983 Pearson 422, and we're glad you've joined us. If this is your first time visiting Quest for Thunder, please consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell so that you'll receive notification when we upload new content. Again, we're glad you're here. Welcome to Quest for Thunder, and enjoy the video. Thank you. Today we're going to be prepping a space to change out a through hull for a locker drain. We're also going to remove an old solenoid from a propane system, and we're going to take the tanks off so that we can get to the drain. The locker needs some cleaning up too. This is one more of those examples of how you get onto one project. We were doing work in the salon, we're doing some painting, and then we recognized that the drain for the propane locker, the hose was deteriorated, needed to be replaced immediately so that the rainwater and whatever didn't drain into the engine room bilge. And so that put us off that project onto this one. So that's what we're going to be up to today. So I'll take you upstairs and we'll get to work. Alright, so here we have a very nasty propane locker. I think you can, hopefully you can see that. We've got two bottles in here and a propane locker full of water. And that's because we had to plug a hole in the bottom of this thing to prevent water from draining into the bilge. And so now we have water in the propane locker, quite a bit of water, because of the rain that we've had. Get these bottles out of here. And to take this one out, I'm going to have to undo it. I have to disconnect it from the... Disconnect it here. I don't know when the last time this thing was taken off. A long time ago, probably. So it may not come off quite so easy. See. Oh yeah. That does not want to come off there. Well, it was closed. Loose. There we go. That's got it. Take it loose from here. Pressure gauge looks pretty good. Fitting looks pretty good. Just need to clean it up a little bit. That O-ring looks pretty good. Just need to get a little of probably a little grease on that. Yeah, just clean this up a bit. Should be okay. Clean up these threads. So that looks pretty good. Clean up the hose a little bit. Hose looks like it's in okay shape. Doesn't seem to be splitting. Well, it's a little deterioration right there at the entrance to the mechanism. So I don't know, maybe might have to replace that. but that looks okay. And the regulator, as far as I can tell, looks okay too. Regulator looks alright. So, set that there. This tank out of here. This tank's almost empty. Lighter than the other one. Alright, oh. And these collars. Alright, so disconnected that. So down in the bottom there is a DC plug that I stuck in there a couple of days ago when this through hole broke. So that's what that's all about. And now I'm gonna see if I can, yeah, I gotta get this solenoid out, but I'm gonna need a wrench that I didn't bring up here with me. But this solenoid here, it's all rusted, the wires have corroded, and they just basically just came undone from this thing here, just all corroded. So yeah, here they are. It's bad. So that's just gonna have to get redone. And when done properly, they used this to try to coat the wires instead of using a butt-end connector that was sealed. And so what did the wires do? Well, they just rusted. They deteriorated away. I mean, this is exposed to the weather, so you know you don't want to. You want to make sure you do what you have to do to protect the wiring. Alright, so for now, I guess I got to get this water out of here, so I'm going to have to go get a wet vac, suck this water out so it doesn't go down to the bilge, and then I'll have to get this solenoid out of here. Once I get the the drain back in, I can clean this cockpit locker, this propane locker out. Right. In the meantime, I just leave it the way it is. Again, this is an example of, fiddly. It's going to replace a drain. Then I discovered that the solenoid was in bad shape. Then I pulled on it. The wires came off. Now I've got to completely rewire it to the panel. Yeah, just the whole mess down here just needs work. It's not in a good way. It's not in a good way. All right, so here's the solenoid that I was taking out of the locker. It was just way too cramped up there on the deck side like that to get the camera in there, and I was having to do it by myself. I didn't have any help, so I was unable to film the actual disassembly of the solenoid here. It was not easy. It did not want to come out. It was mounted in there backwards like this, so these brackets were in the way to get my wrench down here on the nut. But it's out, and then now I need to figure out what it is so I can replace it with an appropriate replacement. So hopefully there's enough information that's still visible on here and I can match it up. But yep, solenoid out. So the propane locker, which was just going to be a simple switch out the drain, is turned into far more complex project, but something that absolutely has to be done. We have to have propane to operate our stove, so gotta get it fixed. Whew, it's a hot one out there today. Summer has arrived in Houston. Man, just being out there just that short period of time in the direct sunlight was brutal. Hey, I wanted to give a quick shout out to David. David is one of our subscribers, and he sent me a comment a few days ago talking about our cinematography, and he had some really great ideas about how we could improve the quality of our video. Everything from how we shoot to what we shoot. And so this video is the first video where I'm trying to incorporate all the things that David pointed out into our video. One of the things that he said that I agree with everything he said. Of course, I'm not a cinematographer. I don't know that much about it. I just shoot some video. One of the things he said was, hey, we don't see any of the work. We hear you talk about it, and then boom, we see the finished product, but we don't see the work taking place. And I'm like, well, that's right, you don't, because I don't set the camera up and film, but I should, right? So I tried that. It was a little difficult. Of course, I would have picked the most difficult and the tightest, most constrained shooting location that I could for my first attempt to incorporate one of his ideas. Hey, I'm working on it, and David, if you're listening, thank you so much for the tips. I really appreciate it, and as you watch the videos, as you continue to watch the videos, as you see additional things that we can do, you be sure to let us know, because those are invaluable tips, and I do appreciate it. So thanks to David, and thanks to all you guys who watch. I hope you subscribe to our channel, come back, see us, share your videos with your family and your friends, help us to grow. Give us a thumbs up, it really helps. And so from the crew of Thunder, fair winds and following seas. Bye.